Good morning or afternoon. Today we're looking at number 15 in Book 2, America the Beautiful. America the Beautiful was completed in 1895. The music is by Samuel Ward and the lyrics were written by Catherine Lee Bates. Two people who never met. The original title was Pikes Peak. This is an iconic tune that I'm sure everyone has heard before. The most famous renditions of this song are probably by Frank Sinatra, Ray Charles, and Whitney Houston. Now, looking at the music itself, notice that you do have several flats. If you play the flute or a low brass instrument, you're going to have 4 flats: B flat, E flat, A flat, and D flat. If you play the trumpet or the clarinet, you're going to have 2 flats, B flat and E flat, or the tenor. If you play alto sax or bari sax, you're going to have 1 flat, and that is B flat. And if you play French horn, you'll have 3 flats, B flat, E flat, and A flat. Now, as we get into reading the notes of this tune, the one that I think you should focus on the most, or first, should be the first note of measure number 3. That is going to be a concert D flat. So make sure that you have looked at your key signature several times and that you understand it before we actually start playing this music. Also note, there are lots of dynamics. They add significantly to the effect, so please make sure you're trying your best to create that dynamic contrast without going over the top when you get to the forte. Another thing to take into account is that there is no clear breath mark and honestly no clear place where it feels like you should breathe. So in this situation, you may breathe wherever you like as long as you're taking the music into account and not letting your breath point affect the music in any sort of negative way. It's helpful to think of the words of the song, and that could help you determine where you should breathe. Another rule of thumb is don't breathe in the middle of a crescendo or a decrescendo. Some notes on the clarinet part. You start in a normal range that you should be very comfortable as long as we play this E flat, and then you go up above the break and you're playing those first few notes that you're going to be using the register key, and then at the end of the piece, you're down at the very bottom of your instrument. So please make sure that you have your fingering chart out and that you look at these fingerings and understand what to play before you actually start putting air into your instrument. Percussion, I see that there is only non-pitched wise a snare drum part and a crash cymbal part. So crash cymbal, make sure that you play that tastefully and not too over the top. And snare drum, of course, stickings are your choice here, but the natural sticking would be right, right, left, right. And here it would be right, left, right. But play whatever feels comfortable to you. Make sure that you see this 5-stroke roll coming and this 9-stroke here, and that you know how to navigate those. So good luck with this tune. Start slowly, look at the key signature 5, 6, 7 times, and have fun.